He wrapped himself in quotations, as a beggar would enfold himself in the purple of emperors. I never made a mistake in my life, at least, never one that I couldn't explain away afterwards. I always prefer to believe the best of everybody. It saves so much trouble. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If history were taught in the form of stories, it would never be forgotten. A woman's guess is much more accurate than a man's certainty. We're all islands shouting lies to each other across seas of misunderstanding. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. I am the cat who walks by himself, and all places are alike to me. A man can never have too much red wine, too many books, or too much ammunition. I keep 6 honest serving men. They taught me all I knew. Their names are what and why and when and how and where and who. I am, by calling, a dealer in words, and words are, of course, the most powerful drug used by mankind. No price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. You must learn to forgive a man when he's in love. He's always a nuisance. The world is very lovely, and it's very horrible, and it doesn't care about your life or mine or anything else. War is an ill thing, as I surely know, but will be an ill world for weaponless dreamers, if evil men were not known, then slain. Gardens are not made by singing, "Oh, how beautiful," and sitting in the shade. We have 40 million reasons for failure, but not a single excuse. This is a brief life, but in its brevity it offers us some splendid moments, some meaningful adventures. We had a kettle, we let it leak. Our not repairing made it worse. We haven't had any tea for a week. The bottom is out of the universe. The first condition of understanding a foreign country is to smell it. Now, don't be angry after you've been afraid. That's the worst kind of cowardice. Of all sad words of tongue and pen, the saddest are these: "it might have been." Asia is not going to be civilized after the methods of the West. There is too much Asia, and she is too old. And the first rude sketch that the world has seen was joy to his mighty heart, till the devil whispered behind the leaves, "It's pretty, but is it art?" If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look to good, nor talk to wise. I have my own matches and sulfur, and I'll make my own hell. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. A time for prayer in times of war, and not before God and the soldier we adore, but in times of peace and all things righted. God is forgotten and the soldier slighted. There is but one task for all, one life for each to give. What stands if freedom fall? I have struck a city, a real city, and they call it Chicago. The other places don't count. Having seen it, I urgently desire never to see it again. It is inhabited by savages. How can you do anything until you have seen everything, or as much as you can? Yet there be certain times in a young man's life when, through great sorrow or sin, all the boy in him is burnt and seared away, so that he passes at one step to the more sorrowful state of manhood. 20 bridges from Tower to Kew wanted to know what the river knew. 20 bridges or 20? 2, for they were young, and the Thames was old, and this is the tale that river told. These are the four that are never content, that have never been filled since the dew began, Tecala's mouth, and the glut of the kite, and the hands of the ape, and the eyes of man. A thin gray fog hung over the city, and the streets were very cold, for summer was in England. All we have of freedom, all we use or know, this our fathers bought for us long and long ago. They will come back again, as long as the red earth rolls. He never wasted a leaf or a tree. Do you think he would squander souls? They are fools who kiss and tell. Wisely has the poet sung, man may hold all sorts of posts if he'll only hold his tongue. Something I owe to the soul that grew, more to the life that fed, but most to Allah, who gave me two separate sides to my head. Oh, it's Tommy this, and Tommy that, and Tommy O as your soul, but its thin red line of heroes, and the drums began to roll. Thou art of the jungle, and not of the jungle, and I am only a black panther, but I love thee, little brother. The tumult and shouting dies, the captains and the kings depart. Still stands thine ancient sacrifice, and humble and a contrite heat. Lord God of hosts, be with us yet, lest we forget, lest we forget. When the moon gets up and night comes, he is the cat that walks by himself, and all places are alike to him. More men are killed by overwork than the importance of the world justifies. As surely as water will wet us, as surely as fire will burn, the gods of the copybook headings with terror and slaughter return.